Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Noah is Bored podcast. I know, I missed an upload. I missed Monday, but I have some explaining to do, guys. Uh, this is I don't know how to phrase this, but this podcast is no longer gonna be my priority because I actually started a new one. I know. Wondering why did you start a new one? Well, the reason I started a new one was because that I wanted to start off fresh, because this one has been, I've had lots of pauses, I've had lots of breaks, I've had lots of times I'm not really consistent with it, and also I wanted to have it where I like upload all the episodes to YouTube, and I have some episodes uploaded to YouTube, some of them not, and it'd be way too hard just to like organize them all together. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start a new one. But I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not gonna be ending this podcast. I'm still gonna be doing some episodes of it, but I'm just not gonna be doing them like all the time. Maybe like once every other week or like 2 weeks, maybe once or twice a month. I'm guessing, but I'm not going to be doing it every single week, okay? I know you might be sad, but I'm still going to be doing it, and I'm excited for this episode because on this one, I think it's episode number 63. Is it 63? I don't even know. I don't remember. Or I was thinking about renaming. I was thinking about like renaming this podcast and doing something different, dude. Because it's like, I want to do more than just randomly talk. Like, I want to do maybe like one about like, I don't know, like a certain topic, like a niche podcast. Okay, I don't know. I still don't know really what I want to do yet. Ooh, but I just want to do something different. But in this episode, I'm going to be talking to you, showing you some of the books that I got. Because this episode's mostly going to be about reading, okay? It's mostly going to be about reading. My journey, my history of reading, I didn't learn to read till I was 13 years old. That's a joke. That's a joke. That is a joke. I know how to read. I know how to read, okay? But I have not. Wait, I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to see how many. Like episodes we've had. 60. Okay, so this is 65. Oh wow, 65. This is gonna be episode number 65, which is crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. The fact is that I've been on 65 episodes. Okay, but not because of that. Let's get on to the real meat and potatoes, the juicy content of the podcast. Okay, so reading. I've always been like I've been interested in reading for a while. Like I used to be a big book nerd. I used to read a lot of books. In school. I like to read. And in school it's sometimes it's kind of hard. To want to read, because it's like they always give you like a lot of times they'll make you read some of the most boring books ever. But I liked reading. There were some cool books we read. The Outsiders was a really good one. Had lots of action in it. George to Kill a Mockingbird classic. Of Mice and Men, that was a good one. It was short. It was interesting. The movie was good. Of course, we read Shakespeare. I mean, Shakespeare was okay, you know. But so I liked reading in school, and I always read a lot of books too. And then, I just started kind of like falling out of it. I just started like falling out of it and just not being interested in reading anymore, which was kind of weird. And like I was in a reading slump for a little bit. Like I would go to the library. I would go to the library, pick out some books, and then I wouldn't read them. Like I would probably read 2 pages of them and try to read them, but I just didn't because I got bored. I just get bored so easily. It's hard. I need to find like a really good book, or else, I'm just get bored easily, and then I just turn it off. I just close. I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm not doing this anymore. Sorry. Bye. I'm not doing this anymore. But I have found some good books in the past. I did read, what is it, The Long Walk by Stephen King. I did do a video on it, but yeah, it was a really good book. It was like, simple concepts, kids walking, and if you go under certain miles an hour, I think four times, then you get shot, pew pew, and you die. It was really good. Like, and the most of the book took place with them walking. Like, the race started on page 16, and from 16 to like 300 something, it was just walking. I know that sounds boring. That sounds boring, but it's actually really good. It's actually really good. So, I like that one. There was a book I read in the past called um there's Party at the End, or I don't even know what it was called, but it was like an end of the world like survivalist. It was like a book about this one lady who was like, I don't know, something happened and she woke up and she was like the last person on earth or something. Or like there was zombies but she was like the only person on earth, and then she had to like travel to this one place cuz she was like pregnant or something. I don't know. And finished the whole book actually, which is very rarely do I ever finish like whole books from the library. But I finished that one. It was good, and I haven't found like really any like I found some good books, but I don't usually finish them, because it's like a lot of times the books are really big, so it's like you don't really want to finish them. I have a hard time finishing all, but today I'm gonna be showing you guys some of the books that I got from the library, just talking about them. I only started reading one of them. Yeah, this was actually it's funny because this is actually one of the first videos I ever posted on my channel about 2 years ago. Library Look, episode 1. So I guess this is 2 years later. This is episode 2 of Library Look, guys. Wow. 2 years later. It took me 2 years to make another episode of the series. See, I'm not good at making series. I'm not like, for example, with my freaking Wikipedia series, I was like, dude, I think I made 4 episodes, but dude, I just I just got kind of bored of, you know, of doing the Wikipedia races. I might do another one actually, to be honest with you. I think I'm in the mood. I've had a little break from doing them, and I think I want to do it again. I don't know how many episodes are going to be of that series, but you know what? Let's just get back to the content at hand, okay? Let's look at some books, everybody. Let's talk about what kind of books I got. Oops, sorry, that was loud. First one we have here is the one that I've actually been reading. Ba-da-bum. It's called Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfield. Now, this is actually not my first time renting out this book. I got it a couple weeks. I got it a few months ago. I started reading. I didn't really get that far into it, but I looked at the jacket. I read the premise of it. The premise of it, it's like there's this girl named Sally Mills who is a sketch comedy writer at like a show. It's basically like SNL. It's like SNL. It's like a sketch comedy show like SNL. She's like a writer there. She's been there for a long time. She's like, I like the character. The characters, she's in there. She's pretty funny. She's like snarky sometimes, and she's a really good character. She's pretty likable, relatable. And the thing happened. It's called romantic comedy because one of the shows for like the musical guest and the host is this guy named Noah Brewster. Which, hey Noah, no, hey guys, I gotta represent my fellow Noahs, okay? But so Noah Brewster, and he's like this pop star guy who's super famous, and then he goes on the show, and she starts to have feelings for him, like she meets him in the meeting room, and then he goes and like helps. He asks her about his sketch, and that she helps with it. They start talking and stuff, and so yeah, that's what it is. And she's like, oh, do I actually like, can I like would a famous pop star date someone like me and stuff like that? I haven't gotten too far into it. I'm on page like, what is it, 87. I'm on page 87 so far. I gotta say I really like it, mostly because I really like comedy, and I also like writing too. So like I would love to be a comedy writer. So like it's cool that this book, and it's cool to see like the behind the scenes stuff of like the process. I mean, I don't know how much this. I mean, it seems like she's done a lot of research, because it seems. I mean, I don't know how realistic it is because I've never been in a writer's room, but like it just seems really cool, and like it's very well written. It's very well written so far. It's just like it's just easy. Like it's an easy read. It's just I blow by it. There's a lot of humor in it. It's very lighthearted and very like it's very funny so far. I like it. How many pages is it? I think it's like 300 something pages. Let's see. Oh, I'm almost at the end. Come on. Oh no. It is nope, it's not even 300 pages. It's like 300, it's exactly 300 pages. Exactly 300 pages. So, a little bit of a hefty read, but so far it's good. I want to finish this. I saw it in Target. It looks like a cool book. I'm like, dude, I gotta finish this. And for a little bit, I had to wait because it was a newer book, so it wasn't out yet in the libraries, but now it is out. and I actually really enjoy it. Characters are good, and the writing, and it's funny, and so yeah, that's the first book. That's the first book. Where am I gonna? I'll just sit on the floor. I'll just set it right there. I'll just set it right there. Next book. Next thing we have here is called Rabbit Hole. Now, as you can see here, this is a play. I have been trying to get myself to read more plays because also I like screenwriting. I want to write like scripts and stuff. I also like plays too. Plays are good. They're mostly dialogue, so I want to be able to write better dialogue, make it sound good. So, like writing a play, and this one looks cool. I actually have gotten this before. I have read it a little bit, but I didn't finish the whole thing, so hopefully I'm going to finish it. I think it's about like 142 pages, but as you can tell, there's not many words on each page. Like this one, look at that one page. Barely any words on it, because it's quick pace. I don't really know much about the play. I think it's about like Rabbit Hole. I think it's about like a family grieving over the loss of their son or something like that. So I really, how do you grieve? Oh yeah, so it's like about like grief and stuff, and it takes place like in the. It's very bare bones, just like a few. I think there's only 4 characters. Let me look. Five. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so yeah, 5. Yeah. Okay, so very simple, bare bones, and that's what I like, because I want to be able to write like I want to be able to write a movie or write a script that's like very bare bones, so I can maybe shoot it myself or make it myself, So that's why I like to read plays, just to learn what good dialogue sounds like. And also when I'm reading them, I like to, read them. I like to say them out loud, So like, what's the first line of dialogue? Let's say here. Let's see what the first line of dialogue is. It's a, and then I see her from across the bar coming at me with this look, everyone kind of steps aside for her like the Red Sea or whatever. Just clears a path for her. I'm like, what's this nut job? So yeah, see, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good line of dialogue. That sounds good, because I've always had trouble with my scripts and writing in general, just making my dialogue sound good. 'Cause I feel like my dialogue's weak and it just sounds, I don't want it to sound wooded like, do you want to go to the store today? I am feeling sad because you hit me in the face. Beep boop, beep boop. I don't want it to sound like a robot. So that's why I'm like, okay, I do research too. Watch some videos and stuff on the matter. So yeah, that's why I like reading. I need to read a few plays, not just Shakespeare. I want to read more like modern contemporary plays because all the old ones I can't really understand. Like I read The Crucible in school. I didn't really understand it too much. But I do have another one. I do have, what is it, 12 Angry Men, which is like a play about, 12 jurors who are sitting in a, it takes place in one room. Like, I like stuff like that where it's like confined and contained into like a single space because it's like you really have to have it, like, to make it interesting, you don't have all the outside visuals and stuff. So you really, like, have the dialogue really has to be good. The plot really has to be solid for it to be interesting. It's about, 12 Angry Men. It's about these 12 men, jurors, who are in a room and they're trying to deliberate on if this kid is guilty of murder or something like that. I think so, yeah. And there's this one guy who, I think there's this one guy who doesn't agree and he's trying to convince the other guys. So it's like that. The dialogue there is good. So I was reading that, and so I want to write something like that, like a contained thriller. Because then, it's like, oh, maybe I could, like, make it myself, make the movie, direct the movie, or act in the movie. I mean, I'm not the best actor, but I do like dabbling in acting every once in a while. It's fun. It's fun to play different characters, and it's just fun I mean, I like being on camera. That's why I'm literally recording this podcast. That's why I've been doing video podcasts, because I like acting and stuff. So, yeah, basically that's why I got this. Hopefully it's good. I wonder if it's going to be good or not. I wonder if it's going to actually hold my attention. And so yeah, Rabbit Hole. I want to see like, dude, I should like go on YouTube and watch like a performance of this. That would be pretty cool, actually. I also remember I did get another play at the library, The Flick, and it was about like set at a movie theater. But okay, so the next one we have here is called "Tender Is the Flesh" by sorry, I don't think I could say this. Augustina, I can't even say the name. Sorry. Here's the name. Here's her name. But this is the reason I got this book was I didn't know anything about. Well, I looked up like horror. I wanted to read like horror because I like horror movies and scary books. So I wanted to read this one. I wanted to read one that was like really scary and horror and stuff like that. And I looked up, and they were like, "This book is really scary." It says the book will put you in, take hold, and not let you go until you reach the final page. Without a doubt, my favorite read of the year. And it says. This international about the Soviet world in which humans are being processed for food and society is divided into predators and prey. Oh, that actually sounds really good. His wife left processing plants. Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one calls them that anymore. Oh my! So it's like, oh, that's really weird. That sounds really weird. I mean, I like weird books too. Like the more out there and strange. Like if I see a book and I read it and the plot is like weird and strange, I'm like, dude, I want to read it because it's just like I don't know why. I don't know why. I just want to read something weird, wacky, and goofy. I don't know, just interesting, because not a lot of books do that. Sometimes the mainstream authors they just stay safe and predictable and stuff like that. But this one, I don't really know much about it. The title is interesting. Tender is the flesh, and just reading the little jacket synopsis, I'm like, this is definitely gonna be very creepy, very like just very weird. Say, oh, so this is translated. This is translated from Spanish. Interesting. I don't think this book is too long. How long is it? Oh, it's only 209 pages. That's not too bad. That's like 100 pages less than, um, what is it? Romantic comedy. But yeah, so I don't really have much to say about this book. I'll maybe talk about it when I finish reading it. So yeah, okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, next up we got One More Thing, Stories and Other Stories by BJ Novak. You might know BJ Novak because he's an actor. He played in The Office. I think he played Ryan. Was his character named Ryan? He's played in The Office. He's played on multiple other things. And also, this is funny. This is also another book that I have gotten before. I know you're like, you go to the library to read books you haven't read before. But yeah, but this one is really good because it's like a short story collection, but it has a lot of stories in it. Like, look. And then, yeah. And the reason is because a lot of the stories are really short. Like, some of them are like, I think so. Some of them are longer. Some of them are like 6 pages, but some of them are like only, like, look, this one. This one is like not even one, look, one page, one, and then that. So see, like, it's not even one page, and some of them are like micro stories. Like, some of them are like not even a page long. They're just like super short. That's what I like about it. There's a lot of variety in here. I have read some of the stories. Some of them are very, very funny. Never want to walk on the moon. Missed connection. Grocery spill at 21st and 6, 2:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. That is very specific title, and I don't know why you would title this thing. I'm trying to look for like a story that's like very short. Oh, Sophie. Here's one that's longer. Oh, this one's pretty long. Oh, this one's like 10 pages. Comedy Central roast of Nelson Mandela. Okay, that's it. The man who invented the where? Come on. I want to read some like very short stories. Oh, there's not really. I guess there's Kellogg's or the last wholesome fantasy of a middle school boy. Kellogg. Oh, this is a longer one too. I would love to write a short story collection. That's one of the things I want to write because it's like you could have so much different variety in them. You could have like usually I know they usually have like there's horror short stories or something, but I would love to make like a collection of like micro stories, like 1 page short stories. Because like you could really like be experimental and try out a bunch of different things with it. Like you could really be weird, wacky, and out there with it. And I've written a few short stories, like in school and like in other stuff. They're not good, but they're okay. I mean, I do like writing. Writing a book is so much harder, dude. I've tried to write a book. It's so much harder than writing a screenplay. I feel like, because it's a lot more like content. It's like 300 freaking pages, or like has to be super long. And just, my goodness, dude, it's just crazy. I'm like, how do people do it? How do people write like 800, 900 page books, dude? Like, I'll write and like I'll barely get like I'll think it's gonna be way longer, and then I under describe everything, and it's just like, oh, like this is barely like, this is not even. I think the short story is gonna be like 10 pages, and it ends up being like 4 or 5 pages. I'm like, really, like, and I don't want to stretch it out artificially by just having like random filler or stuff like that. I don't want to have filler words in the book. I want to make sure that the book is detailed and it is good, but I don't know. Let's see. Man who posted pictures of everything he ate. That's a short one. That's pretty good. Yeah, see, some of these are like micro. Some of these are like micro stories. I've seen some of that stuff. You know, like micro. Oh, here's one. Kindness among cakes. Look how long this story is. What does it say? Why does the carrot cake have the best icing? Because it needs the best icing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. Carrot cake kind of carrot cake. I mean, I don't understand who thought it would be a good idea to take a vegetable and put it in a cake. Really, really, like, why would you do that? A vegetable in a cake, like carrot. Carrot's not even a good vegetable. Like, why would you put, like, why, dude? You're making the cake even worse. Making the cake even worse. Actually, maybe I haven't had. Oh, wait, let's see. BJ Novak, he's been in, oh, Inglorious Bastards. Wow. He has a graduate of Harvard University with a degree in English and Spanish literature. Oh, that's interesting. He's a writer, director, and executive. Oh, wow. I didn't know he did so much stuff. I know he also wrote a children's book, right? Did he write a children's book? Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. But yeah, I want to try to write a short story collection one of these days. You know, one more thing. Stories and other stories. I remember reading a short story collection from, what is his name? Chuck Palahniuk or whatever his name is, the guy who wrote Fight Club. That one was a weird short story collection, but I loved it. This is cool. I like reading short story collections. I want to read more of them. So yeah, that's it for that book. One more time. Oh, it's one more thing, not one more time. Okay. Next up, we got here is The Vacation by T.M. Logan. 7 days, 3 families, one killer. Ooh, so this is a murder mystery. At first, I was like, I don't really like murder mysteries. But then I started reading up. I'm like, dude, I love me a good murder mystery, man. Ooh, it's so good. Actually, what is this? I forgot what this one was about. It's supposed to be blah, 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 blah. Four best friends on a dream vacation come face to face with explosive secret. Let's see. It was supposed to be a perfect giveaway, and her three best friends spending a week, blah, 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 south of France. Through the decades, they've stayed closer than ever. In 7 days of drinking crisp French wine laid out under the Mediterranean Sea, blah, blah. But soon after arriving, Katie discovers incriminating text on her husband's cell phone. A text revealing that he's having an affair, and that the other woman is one of her best friends. But which one? Oh, but... Oh my goodness, dude. That sounds really... I remember reading that, like, dude, like murder mystery that takes place in a nice location, dude. Like Friends, dude. That sounds so interesting, dude. That because you know, like a lot of the times. Here's the thing, though. Like a lot of times when I will go into the library, I don't have like a clue on what. Like this time, I did have some ideas of what the books I wanted to get, but a lot of the time I just go in there blind, just look around, and if I see a book that has a cool cover, I'll get it. And then like if I'll read the jacket, you know. So that's how I found this book. I was just randomly looking around. I'm like, oh, The Vacation, like interesting. And then I read. I'm like, oh, this seems like an interesting plot. Like her, you know, her husband's cheating with one of her friends, and it's like the mystery. Who is it? How is she gonna find out? And there's a murderer on the loose too. Who's the murderer? So it's like Scooby Doo. It's like freaking Scooby Doo, dude. And so I'm excited to read it. I wonder how many. I'm probably not gonna finish all. Oh, this was a longer one. Oh wow, it's chapter 77. Blah blah blah. I don't care. I don't care. 300. Okay. 371 pages. Wow, that is a thick book. That's a thick book you got there. I think the first book I ever tried to write was only like 110 pages. Really short. Really short. Basically a novella. But I want to try to write like a big book one time. Maybe like a giant like thriller with like, maybe a big mystery with like 8 or 9 different, like, I would like to write like mystery that's like contained into one location. You're trying to figure out who the murderer is. There's like 9 suspects. It's like a complex web of like who done it, but like that's really hard to plot out and stuff. Or maybe like I want to really write a dystopian like novel. I really like those. I really like those kind of books. Like The Giver, dude. Oh, I've been kind of obsessed with The Giver lately, dude. Like reading, I was gonna get, what is it, HBO Max just to read, just to watch The Giver movie, because I remember watching The Giver movie when it came out back in like 6th grade, dude. Like 10 years ago, basically. Yeah, 10 years ago. We went to the movie theater, watched it when it came out, and it was a really good, I mean, a lot of people say it wasn't a good movie, but I remember it being good. I liked it. The book was really good. They do have sequels to the books, but they're not as good. They don't really. I wish it would like take place like right. I want to see what happens to the community right after, dude. Like I want to see what happens when all the memories come flooding in, like how things they try to put things back together and stuff. Like I wish they would have done that. I wish they would have done that, dude. So yeah, yeah, that I just like dystopias because it's like interesting to think about what would happen if this happened, or like I had an idea of what that was like the whole world was in one build, like everyone on Earth was lived in one ginormous indoor like building or something. Like how would that affect stuff, things like that. So like I was just wondering how that would affect it. So that's why I want to write it. But it's you got to come up with like the lore, the world. You got to come up with the backstory and how the disaster happened. You got to come up with like the government, how they work and function. It just takes forever, dude. It just takes forever. And a lot of times I'll just get so bored doing it, dude. Like I can't even do this, or I'm just like. I'll just get stuck, dude. Like I'll get writer's block, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. I have no ideas for like what like to go on or anything like that. So yeah, but I'm getting off topic. But yeah, so murder mystery. I love murder mystery. I read some like James Patterson books and stuff like that. So yeah, that is the last book. I know I didn't talk about them in depth too much, but I haven't read most of them. So yeah, I think that's. Is there anything else that I want to talk about on this podcast? Also, I might change the name. I might change the name. I think Noah's Board Podcast is kind of a lame name. I might change it. So don't be alarmed if I change the name of the podcast on Spotify and start uploading like completely different stuff in it. Because I feel like I already have a podcast where I talk about random stuff. So I want to do something. Maybe I'll just do like games every week. Not every week, but every other week. Or maybe I'll just do one talking about like weird movies or like watching a movie or something and talking about it or so. I don't know. Or I want to kind of do one on music, but it's like I don't really know how to review music. Like I'm not like that. I listen to a lot of music, but it's like I don't know how to express it in ways like, oh, this sounded good, or the drums sound like. I don't know how to express it in a way that's not just lame or something like that. I was thinking about doing a podcast where it's like me and music, where I talk about my favorite albums each week, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know like what I'm going. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe wherever. I don't really know. So yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks or whatever I really post the next one. Bye.